All right. Let's see. All my levels are good. Perfect. Hello. Good morning. Welcome to the stream, everyone. So, today is July the 6th, and we are going to be doing some stuff with After Effects again today. A couple weeks ago, I explored, I can't remember which one. It's one of the particle systems inside of After Effects. And today we're going to look at another one. This is going to be CC Particle Systems 2. And I've got two different little projects planned for using this particular effect here. So let's get going. I have a couple of assets that I've downloaded from Adobe stock. This first one is a lady holding sparklers. So, you know, we just had the 4th of July, Independence Day in the United States, and you know, Canada Day was a few days before that. So, you know, sparklers are fun. So we're gonna go ahead and kind of like add some animation to a still image, which is always kind of fun to do. So let's go ahead and get going. Right now I've just got my project here, and let's create a new comp that we can work in. Here's my composition settings. Right now it's 400 by 400. Let's just do a standard kind of HDV. Yeah, let's just do a 720, 29.97. That's 1280 by 720 square pixels. Frame rate is 29.97. That's fine. It's always a weird thing. NTSC, but it's okay. 5 seconds is probably good. Background color black. Let's give this composition a better name. I'm gonna call this Sparklers. And hit OK. There we go. Oh, you see her just like pop in there. Let's drag that over. Just drag it into there. And you can see, of course, the photograph is much, much larger than the composition window, which is fine, of course, because we can twirl down that layer, go to our transform properties and take that scale down until she fits in there, right? So let's see. I want to position this. Oops. Stop. Yeah, so that's fine. And really what we're going to do here is just lock this down. That's all we need for that portion of it, right? Because we're just using this as a background in order to render particles on top of. So to use the particles to render particle systems 2, what we're going to do is right click inside of the layers panel and choose to create a new solid. Doesn't really matter the color or anything like that. Dark gray solid 1. We could give it a better description if we want. So maybe sparkler particles 1. Hit OK. And there we go. Sparkler Particles 1 is now up there. So let's look up our particles inside of effects and presets. And yeah, there's particle systems too. I think last time we used particle world. I think. Wait, no, maybe it was, I don't know. Doesn't matter. So we're just gonna drag that onto the solid. There we go. Now it's on the solid. Yeah. And if I hit my spacebar right now, wow, she explodes. Which isn't what we want, right? We don't want the particles coming out of our heart. We want them to look like sparklers. And the thing is, like right now, you know, it's not, the sort of the defaults look a bit like sparklers, but you know, they fall away too fast, they last too long. So we do need to make some changes to this. And if we look inside of our CC particle systems too, there's not a ton of stuff in here, right? It's a pretty simple one. It's not nearly as complex as the one we saw a few weeks ago. But yeah, so let's see here. Birth rate, that's going to be the number of sparkles that are birthed. Longevity, let's take that down a bit. And sometimes it's easier to just expose the slider, right? There we go. Producer, let's change its position. And let's pop that one right there on the sparkler. There we go, look at that. Very good. So what we're gonna do, since she has 2 sparklers, we're gonna finish this one and then just duplicate it and reposition it for the other sparkler. Pretty simple. Let's see, radius, X and Y. I don't know if I really need to change these. Probably, well, yeah, let's just keep that. Let's make it 2, just take it down a little bit. Yeah. Physics. All right, so we get a lot of different stuff here. Explosive, fractal explosive, twirly. Look at that. Woo! That's quite a sparkler. Vortex. Right? Pretty cool. Yeah, but explosive or fractal explosive are probably gonna be just fine. And velocity, we're going to take down a little bit. And let's take longevity down a bit more too. Just around there. Gravity, we definitely want to take down a bit so they're not falling so much. So you can see as I change gravity, now the sparkler is going much more all over the place, right? So yeah, this is the good start. How is everyone today? Let me know in the chat what you're working on, how you're doing, all that stuff. And yeah, I keep my eye on the chat as we go along here so I can see what people are up to. I don't know what extra does. All right, particle type line, that should be fine. You can see there's a bunch of different particle types here. We're gonna use either shaded sphere or faded sphere or something like that for the next project, which is gonna be a little more complex. But this one is just to get us started. Max opacity, 75%. Let's take that down a little bit. 7. Color map, birth to death. So let's actually sample from the sparkler in our other hand. Yeah. Sample both of these colors, because then they'll be more realistic, right? Make that a little more red. All right, it's not quite there, is it? Let's make some adjustments up top here. Birth rate, take it down a bit. But longevity, I think maybe we should bump it up a bit. These sparks need to last a little bit longer, don't they? Oh, that's insane. Okay, we don't want that. 8. The thing is, a little tweak on these can make a lot of difference. Take velocity up a bit. If we take velocity up a bit and we take longevity down a bit, that should get us kind of where we want to be, right? That's pretty good. Let's increase the gravity slightly. Hello, Reverb Mike. How are you today? So, Reverb Mike says that you can mess with the opacity over life to make it more sparkly. Let's see. Yeah, so these effects are fun. But, you know, I'm not an expert in these particular effects here myself. Oh yeah, here's what I was looking for. So like the birth size, the death size, and the size variation. I guess that's not applicable to line. Yeah. So shaded sphere has it. Line does not for whatever reason. I guess because it's just a little line. Yeah. But that's getting there. I mean, I think the birth rate is good. Longevity looks good. Maybe increase the gravity a little more though, because there we go. I think because I pushed up the velocity quite a bit. Yeah, I think because of that, I needed to make these additional adjustments here. Yeah, I used some sparklers. See, I don't even know what this does. Inherit velocity percentage. But, you know, one of the best ways to kind of see what things might do is you just kind of play with them. And that doesn't seem to be doing much of anything, which is fine. Jet sideways. Oh, look at that. Oh, that's a little... Oh, actually, you know, geez. That might make a little good sparkler too, but I don't know. Let's just keep it on explosive because that's working out. So what we're gonna do is duplicate this. This one's pretty good. So I'm just gonna take this guy here and come here, copy and paste. So we got sparkler particles 1, and this always trips me up, and I tell my students this all the time, right? I let them know that, you know, After Effects works differently from other Adobe Creative Cloud applications when it comes to renaming, right? So most Creative Cloud apps, you double click to rename something. In After Effects, you select it and hit enter. There we go, number 2. All right, let's go back to our comp. Yeah, if you double click, it'll open up in your layer panel here. And then you can imagine students who are just like getting used to After Effects. They double click on a layer to rename it and it opens up in another panel. And they don't understand that it opened up in a different panel, that there's like a layer panel. They think they're still viewing their comp, but things have just gone wild, right? So like if I go in here, it's like, oh, look at that. What the hell happened? Yeah, that's not gonna work out. So Reverb Mike says, if you move the start point around, the inherent velocity is useful. Oh, yeah, because then it's like moving and generating things at different spots. I guess what would happen there. Actually, resistance. Let's take resistance up a little bit, see what happens before we move on. Yeah, it's all right. It's all right, guys. Extra. It's like extra. Some things are named like so... like ephemeral. Or that's not the right word. So generalistic and obtuse inside of some of these things. Some of these effects, the properties in After Effects. But yeah. All right, so now we got this guy, Sparkler Particles 2. So what we can do is start drilling down here And really what we want to do is change the position of our producer to map to right over here. Woo! Look at that. Woo. Oh, look at that. She's having a blast now. So notice right here, what happens is like, you know, they start producing from a 0 point, right? So what I'm gonna do is just shift both of these over a bit so that they've already begun producing particles. And that way, if we go all the way back to the 0 point, you can see they're already out there, right? Let's see here. I'm like, is there anything else I want to do to this? Take resistance down there. I don't think that worked out like I wanted it to. Let's make this one. I could bump the resistance up on this one a bit. Since, yeah. Right. Oh, let's see. Adobe Live is now simulcasting your live stream to their audience. Thank you, Adobe Live, for this. So now I'm like giant on the Adobe Live streams page here, behance.net/live. We've got Big Joseph with big sparklers. Fun. Well, anybody who's joining in from that, welcome. We're just messing around with After Effects and CC particle systems too. So this is the first thing we're looking at here. You know, it might be fun to do like some kind of lighting effects on her. Let's unlock that layer. And just to make it a little more, let's see here, lighting. No, that's not what I want. Might be some stuff under animation presets. The thing is, when I always used to lament the fact that I never used, oh yeah, light leaks. No, that I never used After Effects as much as I wanted to. So these little explorations of particle systems are pretty fun for me. I don't know how they are for everyone else, but I am enjoying it. Flash. Everybody loves Flash, right? I'm not finding exactly what I want. I was thinking like a strobing kind of, just like flickering. Let me go strobe light. Let's see if that does anything useful. Oh, wow. Let's see. Blend with original. Yep, please. And I'm not sure. Strip duration. Yeah, that's friggin' terrible. Let's remove that. I want a flicker. Like a flicker. Flicker color. This is for text, which I'm not looking for text stuff. Reduce interlace flicker, it's obsolete. See, I don't know the effects well enough to find the sort of thing I'm looking for, which is a problem when it comes to After Effects. It's got so many damn effects in it, right? Time. Anyway. That's not really what I'm looking for when it comes to today's content, right? I'm looking more for the use of the particle system, not so much the other stuff. So yeah, let's just say, well, you know what might work a little bit better if I put like a vignette effect on her. Yeah. Oh, I wonder what the difference is here. See, I've used CC Vignette to just place a vignette on a photo. But I wonder what this animation preset for vignette lighting does. Let's just pop it on there and see what happens, right? Doesn't really change much, does it? Yeah. All right, let's put the real deal CC Vignette on there. So CC Vignette, increase the amount or decrease the amount, right? The angle of view, you got the center, pin highlights. Yeah, so this puts a little bit of vignetting on there to make it a little bit darker looking. Oh, that's a good idea. So Reverb Mike says just add a solid, mask it with a circle, and crank up the feather. Yeah. So, create me solid. Get black. Oh, that's... Wait. It's the opposite of what I want. Yeah. Oops. All right, now I'm going all over the place now. Forget this. All right, this one's done because I don't want to spend too much time on this. I want to get to the snowfall. Double click the circle mask and it does it for you. Let's see. Hello. Wait. Z. Yeah, I guess I don't know exactly about masking here. Yeah, if you want to feather it, there we go. But yeah, I probably need maybe to use something that's not a black solid, right? Anyway. So she's done for now. All right, so let's go ahead and go back to our project because I want to create a new comp for this other picture. So the other picture I got from stock is a winter scene. Reverb Mike says it's in the toolbox. Well, that's something for me to explore later on my own. So let's create a new comp. And I think this should have the same settings. Yeah, same settings as we selected at the beginning here. And I'm gonna call this Snowfall. There we go. And let's bring her into our layers panel. Super close up, which is fun. Take that scale down quite a bit. We just want, all right. So we got this still photo of winter scene. She's already got some snow on her hair. Yeah, I miss snow, you know, in the summer. It gets really hot I mean, it's not too hot here, actually. It's going to be like... It's 66 right now in the Denver Boulder area. And we're getting up to 84 today. So it's not bad. And that's Fahrenheit. For those who tell temperature by Celsius. Yeah, Fahrenheit. All right, so let's go ahead and create a new solid. And let's just call it snow. There's our solid. And then I'm gonna look for, again, our particle systems 2. Drag that right on there. There we go. Same kind of deal, right? Oh, hello. You who just joined the chat. I have no idea how to pronounce your name. I'm sorry. But welcome. So we are creating different motion effects with particles on still photographs in After Effects. Using particle systems 2. So I named this stream Playing with CC Particle Systems 2 because saying that would be it's just too wordy, right? All right, so let's see here. So birth rate, I don't want to mess with yet. Longevity, actually, we're gonna make this pretty big because you know snow falls, and it doesn't just go away like sparklers do. So we may adjust that later, but I'll bump it up a bit right now. Producer, so here we go. This is gonna be interesting because the producer here, like with the sparklers, right? It's coming from a little point and just doing its thing. With snow, you know, it's coming from the sky, like way up there. So the producer has to exist in the sky, and it has to cover a large area like a snowstorm. But you can do that in here. Yes, Reverb Mike says there is a CC snowfall effect. Yes, there is. But I want to create this from scratch. So what I'm going to do is pull this back, not that much. Maybe 33. Yeah, that's good. 33. Yeah, if you look in here. Snow. Yeah, there's a snowfall effect here. There's also like a rain effect that I use for different things. I use that when I'm teaching After Effects quite a bit for my class. I usually do, and I do different things, and it's kind of weird because like there's a bunch of stuff that I do for my class that I can't necessarily do for, so I've got this book, right, that I finished writing. It's not gonna be out till December, but I had to create a bunch of content for the book that because I wouldn't necessarily be able to use a lot of the stuff that I do in my class, if that makes sense, for the projects in the book. So one of those things, I got a couple of projects which traditionally revolve around Spidergate Cemetery in Leicester, Massachusetts. So inside of After Effects, what we do for that project is we, you know, create kind of like a little title sequence for a Premiere Pro project that uses audio from an audition project that's based on some kind of like an informative topic, usually like an urban legend or a conspiracy theory, a ghost story, something like that. It's a fun project, so the students, they can, you know, do a little research on their urban legend. They can write a little script, record themselves an audition, clean it up, mix it with music. Then they use that as the base for their Premiere Pro project, where they add in video and motion stills and things like that, titles. And then, you know, for After Effects, we create a nice title sequence for that particular thing. But Spidergate Cemetery, you know, isn't gonna really be that appealing to many people. And, you know, the nature of that sort of like 3 application project doesn't necessarily work if somebody's just cherry picking chapters in a book, you know? So I had to come up with new content, which is fine. But yeah, it's something I use quite a bit, is the rainfall effect. Anyway, yeah. Oh, Reverb Mike, Animate is part of it. Yes, there is a chapter on Animate in this book. Animate, After Effects. It's a multi. We cover multiple pieces of software. Introductory style. All right, so let's see here. CC Particle Systems 2. We got longevity. We got position. Position is what I was working at here, right? So 640 by 360. So you can see, moving this guy around, we can always just pop him up top here using this little tool. Let's shift him up a little bit, actually. So yeah, so now you can imagine, you know, look at all that snow, right? Not snow. But let's take the longevity all the way up. It's fine, right? What we're gonna do is change the radius X. And check that out. When this happens, I bump that radius X quite a bit, right? And look at that. Now it is really spread out, and it might need to even be more spread out. Oh, that's radius Y that I was messing with. Wait. You know, I used to know this stuff by heart, especially when I was, you know, doing all sorts of stuff with Flash, right? Because we've got an XY coordinate system for that software, as most things do, right? And, you know, a lot of the stuff I did, I was positioning things on the stage, you know, programmatically, because I used to do software development. That was what I did for the longest time. And yeah, those days are gone. That looks more like rain. Let's keep the velocity up a bit. Gravity. And you know, you can actually reverse gravity inside of here. So you can make things go up. Look at that. Pretty cool. But if you do it kind of towards the middle here, you get that sort of fluttering effect with snowfall, right? Yeah, twirly is kind of snowy. Yeah, right now we're using explosive. If I go twirly, actually, I've manipulated it so much in terms of gravity and so forth that, look at that. It looks almost identical between twirly and explosive, which is kind of wild. Let's take this down a bit. There we go. I don't know. We'll keep playing with it. Resistance, let's pull that up a bit. Yeah, look at that. So this is cool too for making like dust. Particle, this is what I'm looking for. So we don't want lines, right? Snow doesn't fall in lines. Rain falls in lines. If you wanted to go like a rain shower effect, line's perfect for that. So let's do probably faded sphere is going to work. Ah, pretty. And then, of course, change this to white. And really, death color, we don't really care because it's not going anywhere, right? We've got the longevity up, and it's just kind of floating. So, let's see here. Max opacity, let's take that down a little bit. Ah, there we go, look at this. And this is why I wanted to sort of do, this snowfall. See, this looks more like, look at that. It's kind of more like, take the birth size up a bit. See, this is cool. I like using this sort of thing better than the sparkler thing that we just did. That's why I started with the sparkler thing. Because it's just, you know, snow goes up, snow goes down. What am I trying to say? I don't even know. Velocity, let's play with velocity a little bit. Yeah, that's a little crazy. There we go. See, I'm thinking we need to take longevity, maybe even take, I don't know. Longevity. Let's take that way up. This is one of the weird things in After Effects, right? Like, if you use these little sliders, it's like the slider only goes to 4. And that's it. You can't go beyond 4. But you can always just scrub or even just like type stuff in. And most of the time, After Effects will adhere to whatever that is. After Effects will be like, okay, that's cool, I can do that. Even if it's like kind of beyond, you know, what you might be thinking is appropriate. Let's move that producer up there. Did that take? Birth rate. There we go. Look at that. That's much more subtle. What do I want to do here? I'm in this weird part of summer that things just are going sort of wild, you know? Like week to week to week, things just sort of like get all weird. They sort of blend together. The weeks, the days. So it's like, didn't I just do this? Did we not just do a Behance stream? It's like, that was a week ago, Joseph. Oh, okay. Let's take the max opacity up a bit. And the size is a little weird. There we go. Yeah, it's like, it goes from like, it's bizarre. But, yeah. I've actually gone ahead and, you know, done a ton of prep for our fall semester. I've got everything pretty much in place for what I need to do to prep for my classes and the new year and everything. And like I said, you know, I took on this gigantic book that's pretty much done now. So I'm kind of just like, all right, I've still got like 2 months, just sort of, before it all starts up again. Oh, I am doing a really cool project with a bunch of other Adobe education leaders for a release on July 26th as part of the Adobe Education Summit. Actually, let's bring that up here. Plug the Adobe Education Summit a little bit. So it's funny, this used to be, and here I'll pop this into the chat, as I've done in previous weeks, to advertise it. There we go. So yeah, this is the Adobe for Education Summit. So again, I'm an Adobe education leader, and there used to be like, I don't know, like 100 of us throughout the world back in the old days. And we used to all meet up every summer, usually in July, for about 5 days, 4.5 days, really, in San Jose, usually, but we've done a number of other cities too. San Jose, of course, because that's where Adobe's headquarters is located. So we would meet up there and we'd hang out and we would have like a big summit, you know, presentations. We would get a bunch of like inside info, NDA stuff from Adobe and the product teams and everything. And they would ask for our feedback on different things and try to plan things out, right? But of course, the past couple of years have been different. So instead of doing that sort of thing, because it's impossible, Adobe for Education has put on for the past 2 years, and this will be the 3rd year, a remote general education summit. So it's July 26th to the 28th this year. And yeah, you can go there and sign up for it. It's free, of course. If you're interested in education, you know, the 27th and the 28th are probably the better days if you're a general education type person. The 26th is the day for the cool shit stuff, the cool stuff. So yeah, Digital Media Pre-Conference is where a bunch of Adobe education leaders will be presenting on different professional software. If you're interested in learning about other software like Adobe Express, you've got 2 whole days for that on the 27th and the 28th. But the 26th is the good stuff. So yeah, if you are interested, please go ahead and sign up for that. It'll be fun. And I'm going to give a little talk, actually involving After Effects. It's going to be a quickie talk. But again, I'm doing a group project with 10 other AELs. And what we're going to be doing is we're going to be having a little showcase of our creative project, which I won't talk too much about because it's a surprise, right? Well, Spark isn't gone. It's just Express now. So, yeah, they rebranded it like they like to rebrand stuff, right? So, Flash Sad says noob you. I'm not sure what you mean. If you want to be more explicit about that, I can address your comment. But yeah. Anyway, that Snowfall's pretty good. I don't know if I want to really do too much other stuff to it. Clicking the wrong icons because they changed the colors. Yeah, I do that too. Actually, just the other day I opened up, I can't remember if I was like opening After Effects and I clicked on the Audition icon, or was opening Animate and clicked on Audition, And those two really screw me up because it's AU and it's AN, which is sort of an inverse U, right? I'm really kind of hoping, I feel like they're kind of like ready for a refresh. They usually refresh the icons every couple of years. So I know they've gotten feedback on the current, you know, system of design for their icons. Oh, yeah, Dreamweaver as green. Absolutely. I know, they made it the same color as XD, which is, like, bizarre. But, because, like, there's no workflow between XD and Dreamweaver, you know? It would make sense if they would actually, like, build a workflow like that, but they don't. And the XD team seems to prefer like Visual Studio Code and things like that over their own products, which that's a thing with Adobe, right? They prefer oftentimes like other people's products over their own, which is the most bizarre thing for a company to do. But, you know, you just gotta kind of get used to that sort of thing. So for those who are just coming in, this is the part of my stream where I've kind of finished what I wanted to show in the software, and I just start rambling about different things in the chat. But, you know, that's cool. That's part of why I like to do these things, is to talk to people. So yeah, say hello in the chat. Yeah, so hello, Norval. Welcome to the stream. So Norval mentions that building in a workflow between XD and Dreamweaver would be really nice, especially if that front-end code transfers over. Yeah, I mean, right now there's like a bunch of third-party extensions for XD that like just barf out a bunch of like terrible code, right? It's not ideal right now. And, I mean, you know, I don't want to, like, you know, say bad things about, I know it's a lot of work to do stuff like that. Like I said, I used to be a software engineer. I used to, was coding everything, right? So, yeah. There are no Dreamweaver streams on Behance. Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen one. I might have done one like 2 years ago. I can't remember. But yeah, Dreamweaver is like in a weird position. You know? Because, you know, it's a very kind of like niche thing. Oh, my cat's here. Oh, come here. Come here. Come over here. Come here. You want to be on Behance? Come here. Hi, come here. Get over here. Don't be a kitty cat. Come on, don't be shy. Come here. Come here. Listen, I can't. I'm doing this. Come here. Listen. Come here. Well, if you're gonna come over here, all right, bye-bye. Cats, right? Yeah, he doesn't want to be on camera, so. Yeah, but Dreamweaver is in a weird position, right? Because it's like, it's one of the few tools that has, holy shit, Poe. My cat just like booked it up the stairs. Sounds like knocked over a bunch of stuff. Yeah. Dreamweaver is in a weird position. And yeah, I used Dreamweaver for years and years and years, especially when I was doing a lot of stuff in Cold Fusion. And Cold Fusion is another weird thing with Adobe, right? It's like Cold Fusion's actually still like a big thing for Adobe, and you know, they have a conference every year, which I always thought was like really weird, because like you know, Adobe Max used to be basically like Flash conference, right? And when Flash fell out of favor, you know, they didn't have any more Flash conferences, but they've held a Cold Fusion conference like every year. And it's just so weird because it's so like particular. Particles. Particular, yeah. But yeah. And it, you know, Dreamweaver's in a weird position anyway. Because yeah, it uses brackets. Brackets is the open source version of Adobe Edge Code, right? And yeah, I mean, brackets is kind of, is it dead? I think it's a dead project, you know? And then Dreamweaver built it in, so it's sort of like, it's like having like some kind of like dead thing inside, just like rotting, you know? It's like, ugh. So I don't know what they're gonna do. Anyway. I think there was just a release of Dreamweaver, an update that updated just a bunch of the engines and libraries and things like that they use under there. Norval asks, if you could bring one thing to Adobe Max, what would you bring? An event or showcase? Yeah, I mean, I would definitely bring more animate to Max. You know, I spoke at Max for over 10 years around Flash and Edge, and then finally Animate. And yeah, I think they definitely need more Animate. It's focused on so many other things. And you know, the thing is, it's become more of a marketing thing, right? Where it's like, what product do they want to push? And sneaks have kind of gotten like that too. So here's where I get in trouble with Adobe, is when I start talking about this stuff. I'm gonna get an email. So sneaks, you know, sneaks used to be at Max. It used to be sort of like, okay, here's like a bunch of engineers just showing off like just stuff they're messing around with, you know? Like things that, and honestly, like close to 100% of the stuff that was presented at Sneaks would never see the light of day afterwards. And they wouldn't broadcast it either. You had to be there to see that stuff. They would not record it. It was not something that was made available later on. They wouldn't tweet about it, anything like that. These days, Sneaks isn't the same. So with Sneaks, it's just a big production now, where they're just kind of like showing off stuff that is pretty much coming, you know, like, I mean, so many things with Sneaks are either like in beta or like as part of a product. And, you know, it doesn't have that kind of like rawness to it anymore. And they broadcast the whole thing, which is the least of my concerns with it, really. But it kind of kills the mystique around it, you know? It's, yeah. I wonder if I should change the time of this channel, this stream. So I don't even know if, oh no, Reverb Mic, they still do Sneaks. It's all pre-recorded now, though. And it's funny, like, a lot of the stuff for the Education Summit is going to be pre-recorded. I'm recording mine on Monday. So, yeah. A little lifeless. Unlike this photo here, which is full of life and snow. Yeah. Anyhow. Yeah, I don't know what's going to happen with this stream. You know, there are a number of us who do stream. And let me pull that up as well. Shout out to my homies. here we go. I'm gonna pop this URL in here too, so it's in the chat. But yeah, you know, they feature a number of us Adobe education leaders, but you know, I stream regularly. Hana streams pretty regularly. Andrew streams regularly, but he's got the summer off, so he hasn't been streaming all summer. Ken streams regularly, but there are other people who just don't, you know, so probably about half of us are actually active. And I just don't know what's going to happen with this program and this endorsement from Adobe. So yeah, I'm streaming on behalf of, when I do these things, on behalf of Adobe for Education. And, you know, hopefully they continue with it. And they continue supporting us, but no promises, you know? And it's a weird thing, but yeah. I used to do late night streams all the time, which was really fun. Now I do these morning streams. As we get closer to the beginning of the new year, school year, academic year, I'll probably change it again. What's going on here? Oh, something going on in my backyard right now. Could be my lawn care people. Let's have a look. Hello. Oh yeah. Bunch of lawnmowers going around chewing up my lawn. That's how it goes. Let's disarm my system until they go away. Anyway, yeah, we've been doing this for about an hour now, and I've said enough. Right. So, what are we doing next time? Let's wrap this up. Man, maybe I should do some more. So I was doing a number of sort of like chats, discussions with other Adobe education leaders, and not necessarily ones who stream, but just other AELs. I'm kind of thinking about maybe lining some of those up again, because I don't know, I'm just getting tired of talking to myself, I guess. So we'll see. Let's see what the schedule holds. And this changes all the time. So yeah, I was gonna look at CC Particle Playground next time as the third and final particle generator. But yeah, I might just start on this stuff. So these two I think it's gonna take 2 sessions. It's something a YouTube viewer asked for. And yeah, maybe we'll do that. Actually, I should just take next week off, because I've got a ton of stuff going on next week. Like, I'm doing like this workshop and everything. 2-day workshop, 12 hours, or 10 hours rather. It used to be 12 hours. A whole bunch of other stuff. So we'll see. I don't know. Maybe I won't be doing this next week. I don't know. Anyway, that's what the schedule looks like right now. It could change, and it does change a lot, because I'm all over the place, which is fine. Anyway, we've hit an hour, so fun. All right, thanks everyone. Any feedback that you might have for me, please get in touch over Twitter or over Behance or whatever. Thank you, everyone, for chatting. Reverb Mike, Norville, Flash Sad. Anybody else who's here, thank you. And yeah, now we got some snow in July, so great. All right. Later, everyone.